Today I'm going to go over the basics of sound recording. There are two different types of sound recording called analog and digital. An analog sound path looks more of a smoother line as analog sounds replicate the original sound wave. Some advantages of using analog recordings is that they are warmer and sound more natural. The disadvantage of analog sound is that the recordings done on an analog microphone degrade every time they are played, which results in high frequency loss. The digital sound path looks more ragged as the digital sounds are just samples of the original track. With digital recordings, some advantages are that they have a better durability, higher volume, lower noise, lower cost, easier duplication, and immediate access to different parts of the recording. Some disadvantages of using digital recordings include the possibility of data corruption and computer systems crashing, which will lead to the loss of data. These two recordings may be different, but can be converted to the other. For example, analog sound can be converted to digital through an ADC. The digital sound can be converted to analog sound through a DAC. The DAC works by speaking into an analog source, like a cardioid microphone, which goes through the ADC and into a digital source, such as a laptop. DAC, which is the same as an ADC, but goes from a digital source through the DAC and into an analog source. By doing these conversions, it means you are able to have different types of sound, whether it be analog or digital. When recording the intensity of a sound or the power level of an electrical signal, the unit it is measured in is decibels. Anything above 85 decibels to 90 decibels can result in hearing damage if exposed to for a long period of time. When a noise reaches 140 decibels, it can result in permanent hearing damage as the noise is so loud. An example of something that can reach 140 decibels is a gunshot. This can damage your hearing if exposed to gunshots for a long period of time. Examples of things under 90 decibels include busy traffic, which is 70 decibels, ordinary conversation, which is 60 decibels, and a clock ticking, which is 20 decibels. Optimum recording levels are important when recording sound. This is because it means you will get the best quality sound while recording. To achieve optimum recording levels, the recording levels should be set as close to the permitted maximum level, PML, as possible, without reaching or going over this limit. If it goes over or reaches the limit, the sound will be prone to distortion. When recording digital audio, it can come close to the maximum level without distortion. However, distortion will occur once the highest peak has been reached. This is usually indicated with a red light on the volume meter, which is a device displaying a representation of a signal level in audio equipment, or a peak program meter, PPM, which is used in professional audio indicating the level of an audio signal. To determine whether the recording is reaching the PML, there are three different colours to tell you which are green, yellow and red. Green is acceptable, yellow is still acceptable but approaching the PML, and red indicates distortion. When recording for interviews, the intensity of the sound should be between -12 dB and -6 dB. A problem with recording voices is that some of the conversation could be quieter than the rest of the conversation. This means that all the set levels need to be evaluated and monitored throughout the recording to make sure they remain at the right levels. There are many different types of file formats, but first we need to learn about the types of compression, lossless and lossy. Lossless compression is when the file is compressed, the quality of the audio remains the same and can be restored back to its original condition. However, lossy compression compresses the file by permanently removing data. This means when the file is restored back to its original condition, it would have lost some of the information. There are three different groups of file formats. These are uncompressed lossless file formats, compressed lossless file formats, and compressed lossy file formats. Uncompressed lossy file formats include formats such as the broadcast wave format, BWF, WAV, AISF, pulse code modulation, PCM, and compact disc digital audio. The broadcast wave format is a file format for audio data. It can be used for the exchange of audio material between different broadcasting environments. A BWF file will contain minimum information. WAV, also known as WAVE and Waveform audio file format, is a Microsoft and IBM audio file format. It is compressed, which means it takes up more space but has better quality and less loss of data. AIFF is a format developed by Apple Inc. It is mostly used on Apple Mac computer systems. The data in AIFF is uncompressed pulse code modulation, which is a lossless file format. Pulse code modulation, PCM, is a step method that is used to digitally represent analog signals that are sampled. It is the standard form of digital audio in most computers and other digital audio applications. Compact disc digital audio, CDDA or CDDA, is the standard file format for audio compact disc and is an uncompressed file format. Compressed for lossless file formats include formats such as Apple.M4a, ATRCA, MPEG-4 and Windows Media Lossless, WMA. Apple.M4a is known as Apple Lossless, Apple Lossless Audio Codec, ALAC, and Apple Lossless Encoder, ALE. This is a format that codes the audio. A-track is an audio compression that enables the compression of audio signals without any loss of data. It is able to compress the CD from 30% to 80% and keep its original data. MPEG-4 is a video and audio file format. It is usually used for a group of audio and video coding formats. Windows Media Lossless, WMA, is an embodiment of the Windows Media Audio, which is an audio codec made by Microsoft. This compresses an audio CD to a range of 206 to 411 megabytes. Compressed lossy file formats include MP3, Vorbis, A-track, and WMA. MP3 is an audio file format for digital audio. This file format is a lossy file format, which means when the file is compressed, the data is partially discarded to make the file smooth. Vorbis is an open source software project which produces an audio file format and software reference. Adaptive Transform Acoustic Coding, A-track, is many audio compression algorithms which were developed by Sony. The A-track allowed a small disk, like the mini disk, to store the same information with minimal loss in quality, while having the same running time as a CD. Windows Media Audio, WMA, is the name of many audio codecs and coding formats developed by Microsoft. This was a competitor to the MP3. In mono sound, there is only one single channel being used. This can be played through several speakers, but all the speakers are making the same copy of the sound. However, in stereo sound, there are more channels being used. There is usually two different channels, where one will feed one speaker and the other channel will feed the other speaker. There are two main types of cables, analog and digital. Analog cables work by sending information through a stream of electricity, whereas digital cables work by sending information through a long binary code. There are two types of cables, balanced and unbalanced. Balanced cables have three wires, the positive signal, negative signal, and the ground wire. Unbalanced cables have only two wires, the signal and ground wire. Because of the third wire in the balanced cables, it makes noise cancellation possible. This means balanced cables are nearly immune to noise interference. On each end of a balanced analog cable there is a connector. This will either be an XLR male, which has 3 pins and connects to various hardware inputs, an XLR female, which has 3 holes and connects to the microphone, but also various hardware outputs, or a TRS, which has 3 services known as the tip, ring, and sleeve. This connects to both inputs and outputs. There is also a TS connector, which is the unbalanced version of the TRS. This has just tip and sleeve. Another connector that can be found is the stereo mini jack connector. This mini jack is a plug that is usually found on MP3 player headphones. The difference with this mini jack is that the connector is smaller than a TRS connector. However, they both have a tip, ring, and sleeve, which means it is balanced. The RCA connector is another type of unbalanced connector. These connectors are usually used in hi-fi and home audio. The RCA connector usually has a red right channel connection and a white left channel connection, as seen in the image. On digital cables, there are 3 main cables. The USB cable, which is a standard cable. It has the slowest transfer of data but is useful for home studios. The FireWire cable, which is usually seen in more expensive setups and offers faster speed than the USB. The Thunderbolt cable, which is only ever seen on high-end setups. This cable is able to offer uncommon data transfers. The final digital cable is the MIDI cable, which transfers data between different electrical instruments. The MIDI cable uses language that is recognized as Musical Instrument Digital Interface, also known as MIDI. These cables are usually connected to your keyboard, which connects to a MIDI interface and then connects to your computer, making it possible to control virtual instruments. Moving on to microphones. There are 3 polar patterns for microphones, which are all different. The different polar patterns include bidirectional, unidirectional, and omnidirectional. A bidirectional microphone is able to pick up sounds from 2 opposite directions. This can be seen in the polar pattern diagram, which shows the 2 areas where the sound is picked up. This is the front of the microphone and the back of the microphone, which are usually ribbon microphones. When using a bidirectional microphone, they are able to pick up the sound well from the front and back, poorly from the sides. One example of using a bidirectional microphone could be during an interview where there is sound coming from behind and in front of the camera. This is because the question will need to be picked up from the person behind the microphone and the person in front of the microphone. Unidirectional microphones are microphones that pick up sound from one direction. A type of microphone that is unidirectional microphone is cardioid microphone. Cardioid microphones are mostly commonly used microphones, as most of the sound is picked up from the front of the microphone and a little is picked up from the back. This is because the front of the microphone is more sensitive at the front than it is at the back, which can be seen in the polar pattern diagram. A cardioid microphone is able to isolate unwanted ambient sound and is also resistant to feedback. This is why cardioid microphones are usually used for loud stages. Another type of unidirectional microphone is a hypercardioid or supercardioid microphone. A hypercardioid microphone has a similar polar pattern to the cardioid microphone, as the most sensitive area of the hypercardioid microphone is at the front. However, a hypercardioid microphone is more directional than cardioid microphone, as it has little sensitivity at the sides and the back of the microphone, which can be seen in the polar pattern diagram. This means a hypercardioid microphone is able to pick up the sound of something at a distance, as it is able to isolate the sound of the subject if there is a lot of ambient noise. The final type of unidirectional microphone is a shotgun microphone. A shotgun microphone is a highly directional microphone, which has to be pointed at the target for a proper recording. This microphone picks up the best sound from the front of the microphone, but also picks it up poorly from the side and back. The most common use of a shotgun microphone is in lectures and meetings. Omnidirectional microphones are microphones that pick up sound equally from the front, back, and sides, which means it doesn't matter which side you speak into the microphone, as it will pick up the sound with equal gain. This can be seen by the polar pattern on the screen, as it shows the sound comes from all directions of the microphone. Omnidirectional microphones are much better than unidirectional microphones, as there is more flexibility of where the sound is picked up. An example of an omnidirectional microphone is during a music performance, where the performer could be on stage with the band in the front. The omnidirectional microphone will be able to pick up both sounds because of its flexibility to pick up sound equally. Moving on to the types of microphones. There are 3 types of microphones. 2 of these are dynamic microphones, which is the coil and ribbon microphone, whereas the other is a condenser microphone. The coil inside the microphone is attached to a diaphragm, which is connected to the metal coil that is hung in the center of the magnet. When the diaphragm moves forwards and backwards, the metal coil moves in and out of the magnetic field, which then changes the polarity of the metal coil. This then creates an alternating current on the wire which is connected to the coil. Coil microphones are usually used in live performances, as there is more ambient sound. Ribbon microphones capture sound in a similar way to coil microphones, although ribbon microphones don't have a moving coil inside of them, but instead have a thin piece of aluminium which is placed between 2 magnets. The piece of aluminium is placed here so it disrupts the electrical field as it moves back and forth. This then creates an alternating current which is then transmitted into the microphone cable. One disadvantage of using a ribbon microphone is that they have to be handled with extreme care, as a thin piece of metal in the microphone could break. Ribbon microphones are usually used in the broadcast business because of the way they produce vocals. The condenser microphone is similar in some ways to the coil and ribbon microphones. This is because it is a cross between both of them, as it takes the best characteristics and combines them to make a unique microphone. This microphone requires power from 2 sources, a battery and external source. The audio signal in a condenser microphone is also stronger than the coil and the ribbon. These microphones are also more sensitive and responsive, which makes them suitable for capturing subtle differences in a sound, and they are also not good for high volume work, as they are prone to distort. Radio microphones, also known as wireless microphones, are best considered as a system. This is because the microphone picks up the sound which goes through a battery-powered radio transmitter which changes the audio into a radio signal. This is then transmitted in all directions, and a receiver unit with antennas will pick up the radio signals and change it back into audio and send it into the mixer channel. Although wireless microphones are useful since they have no restrictions with movement, it also has some disadvantages, such as the amount of processors and connections added into the process, which don't help with the reliability of using a wireless microphone. Therefore, it is advised to use a cable microphone when possible. There are many different models of microphones that also have different types of equipment. One model of a ribbon microphone is the MXL R144 Heritage Edition ribbon microphone. This microphone is a bidirectional polar pattern microphone. It has a 1.8 micron aluminium ribbon inside which ensures premium quality sound. This microphone is ideal for electric guitars or any other instrument that has a high level output. The MXL R144 also has sound rejection, which means that any ambient noise will be minimized. One model of a coil microphone is the CAD TSM411 snare drum microphone. This microphone is a cardioid microphone that is specifically designed for snare drums, but could be used with other percussive drums. It is a high quality microphone that has a moving coil capsule inside the microphone. As the CAD TSM411 is a cardioid polar pattern microphone, it picks up the most sound possible, ensuring low ambient noise. One model of a shotgun microphone is the Sennheiser MKH60P48 shotgun microphone. This shotgun microphone is lightweight and easy to handle. The Sennheiser MKH60P48 is able to pick up high quality sound from a distance. This microphone has a high sensitivity and ensures low distortion throughout recording. It is also weatherproof, which means it is ideal for all weather conditions. One model for a condenser microphone is the Sontronics STC2 condenser microphone. This microphone is suitable for recording vocals, speech, and acoustic instruments such as an acoustic guitar. As the frequency is even and balanced, it is able to capture the sound with high quality. The equipment that is used with the microphone includes a microphone mount for boom, microphone stand, microphone lavalier, microphone boom dolly mounted, and a microphone table stand. The microphone mount and microphone mount for boom are used to attach the microphone to the microphone stand. The microphone stand is used so the microphone doesn't have to be held by hand. Microphone stands are used in live performances but are also used in recording studios. It has a round metal base or a tripod base so the stand has a balance and is less likely to fall over. The microphone lavalier is a small microphone that can be clipped onto a piece of clothing. This microphone is mainly used in TV shows so the audience doesn't see the microphone. They are also usually used for live comedy performances so the comedian doesn't have to hold the microphone while performing. The microphone boom dolly mounted is an overhead stand that is used to capture noise from higher up. These can be used in TV shows to capture the surrounding noise of the set. Microphone table stands are usually used for recording voices where the person doesn't have to hold the microphone. These are usually used for recording home videos where someone is sat at a table and talking into the microphone. To set up a recording in a church with a choir singing and a conversation in a busy street, the microphone and accessories used would be different. This is because there are two different locations. In a church, the microphone I would use to pick up the noise of just the choir would be a ribbon microphone. This is because ribbon microphones are able to produce high quality sound in vocals. The ribbon microphone would be on a microphone dolly mount as it would be above the choir and will be able to pick up all the singers. The singers will also have lavalier microphones clipped onto their clothing, as this will mean that any vocals that are not picked up by the main microphone will be picked up on the lavalier microphones. With the conversation in the busy street, the microphone I would use is a shotgun microphone. This is because shotgun microphones are able to pick up noise from a distance and also block out any surrounding noise. The shotgun microphone will be on a stand pointing at people having a conversation, as it will pick up the conversation clearly.